I'm so excited now. Let me just tell you.
Okay.
Finally, I found somebody who love Housewives as much as I do, and I'm just excited that we are able to collab together and get this started, so we can both get our separate content creation journeys
Yes.
start not just started, but get it moving, right?
Yeah.
Because I feel like
Our
it's
goals.
moving a little slow,
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
I think too. With everything that's going on, so now we're gonna get into the Housewives, but with the different producers and the different reality stars doing
Mhm.
their own channels and
Mhm.
recaps and things
Mhm.
like that, like
Yeah.
that's making it harder for the fans and the people
Yeah.
who just really like it,
Yeah.
and want
Yeah.
to kind of get into this industry that way.
Uh-huh.
So I think collabing, finding with somebody that you can collab and sharing
Mhm.
ideas and thoughts is a good way to just bring something different to the
Yeah.
conversation and
Yeah.
then to the platform, right?
Yes.
So yes, I'm excited for us to do this. So as you guys come in, my name is Brandy Janae. We are on my channel. We are collabing with Housewives from a Housewife, Miss.
Yes.
Say your
I
name
Izara.
Izara. I'm gonna
Yeah.
remember that Izara. And then this is for who asked for this podcast. Of course,
Yeah.
that's the podcast I want to get started, and I
Mhm.
want to move that into a visual podcast. So,
Mhm.
this is a great way to do that, also.
Yep, YouTube is definitely the place for the visual
Hmm.
podcast.
So, how long have you been watching Housewives?
I've been watching Housewives since child, I guess 2009.
Okay, okay,
I don't think I started watching Housewives like when it first started. I started with Atlanta. I
okay.
think I didn't start like the first episode. I just heard people talking about it. I think it was like some family members I heard talking about Nene and just talking
Yeah,
about her, the Joneses. I am the
yeah.
Joneses. So I heard that and I'm like, I'm just eavesdropping, listening, and I'm like, I gotta figure out what they're talking about. And then I started watching, been hooked ever since.
Exactly.
Yes.
I've been watching Housewives since the beginning, so I am. That's why I say I'm a self-proclaimed housewife expert because
Yes.
I'm like I've been going through the whole thing from the beginning. Orange County.
Yeah.
I've seen the transitions through the shows,
Mhm.
even with Atlanta coming in and
Uh-huh.
then making the whole franchise more popular.
Yeah.
Because
Major. Yeah.
Atlanta really was
Mhm.
the franchise that
Popped
really
it off.
catapulted the whole
Yeah.
Housewife franchise into mainstream. Because up
Mhm.
until then, I think we only had Orange County. I'm
Maybe.
trying to think. I can't remember about New York and Jersey, like
Yeah.
right where they were, but I
Uh-huh.
feel like one had come on and maybe one was getting ready to come out or something. And
Mhm.
then Atlanta kind of came in and
Mhm.
just really changed the game a little bit.
Yeah.
And actually, Atlanta probably came before Jersey
Maybe. Yeah.
if I think about
Mhm.
that correctly.
Mhm.
And so yeah, so I'm excited to be here. So let's just jump into it
Okay.
with Real Housewives of Potomac. And so what we're gonna do, guys, since no new episode came on and we're getting ready for a new year, and this is our first time, we wanted to introduce ourselves, and
Mhm.
then we just want to go ahead and catch up with what we think about what's been going on so far on the season, what
Uh-huh.
we expect to see
Mhm.
through the season. And let's kick it off with Stacey and TJ, honey,
Yeah.
because what we thinking about Stacey and TJ?
Girl, what is wrong with TJ? First of all, how you going you're a seasoned actor. You know how you coming across on screen. Why are you being aggressive with this super sweet bubblegum girl? You
Right?
know you finna be the villain.
I'm
I feel like
saying.
their relationship, I feel like either it's them collaborating and it's just a storyline, or he's very much using her. I think he just trying to like big up his name in the industry
Mm,
so he can get some better roles. Cause he in the extra lane. He in the, like the one episode lane.
right.
He
That's
trying to
funny.
get
I
like
hadn't thought about that.
that's what I'm thinking. Cause you remember at Wendy's birthday party, he was talking
Hmm.
to Ray and he was like, "Oh, I heard new hosts get $50,000 $55,000. So I feel like the producers put that look, because why would they even put that in? What, that's like
Because the
so
producers
random.
shady though, honey.
Yeah, so I think he
That-
all about the money. And you remember he was asking Stacey, like he was questioning her about the divorce and like how's mediation? Like he looking for some money. He
you
looking for a
know,
payday.
I kind of agree with you now that you said that. I hadn't thought about it to that extent.
Mhm.
What I felt like is moving a little weird, so I kind of agree. Like you coming off a little strange. The
Uh-huh.
only thing I was really going to give him credit for
Uh-huh.
was being upfront with her about what he wanted
Uh-huh.
and the way he wanted to move in the relationship as
Mhm.
far as them being intimate and what his expectations were. So
Mhm.
I'm thinking in my mind, it's like, well, that's the better way to start something with somebody, is
Yeah.
that at least they're being, letting you get a chance to get to know them and not being so thirsty to
Yeah.
get in your pants. However,
Mhm.
like that could be the trick of the devil,
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
because
Yeah.
men do have a way of telling you what the honest part is, but
Uh-huh.
still leaving
Leave it
out
alone.
things.
Uh-huh.
Right, you know that.
I know.
So it's kind of like that. Like now that you put that in, I'm like, you
Mhm.
might have a point. Because of course, who doesn't know if they get a chance to be on the Housewives
Yeah.
that there's going to be some notoriety,
Yes.
good, bad, or indifferent. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So I kind of can see that,
Yeah.
but she is a sweetheart. I really do like her. It
Mhm.
usually
Me too.
takes me another season. Like I usually need a person to come back for a second season
Mhm.
before I can really kind of say like how I like them in the
Uh-huh.
group.
Mhm.
But with her, I instantly like her, and the reason why is because she is herself, and I
Yeah.
think it's something so nice about the
Mhm.
innocence of coming into somewhere, kind of being um confident in who you are and
That's
what
what I
you're
was gonna say.
bringing.
Yeah, she's innocent,
Um,
but she's so confident. Like she's
yeah,
not meek. Like she's here I am. Like I'm me.
and
Yeah, and I
maybe I
love
talk
that.
a little proper,
Uh
maybe I
huh.
would, but it's
Uh huh.
all good, and
Mhm.
I like that.
Yeah.
I love a person who can just be who they are in their
Yeah.
skin and not let the other things and the other factors around them shift who they are. Now
Yes.
we have to see as the seasons move on, but for some reason, is she not any different at this stage in her life? I don't necessarily see the housewives coming in and changing her.
Yeah.
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 So but like you say, that the only thing is kind of like is that TJ.
Yeah. TJ,
But
he need to go. Yeah.
yeah,
I
I agree. He does.
But they still together because when she had her Watch What Happens Live episode, he was there with her. He was at the clubhouse. He was
Oh.
behind the bar. She was like, sitting down getting him.
Oh, okay. So
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 they
he
still
getting
together
some
now.
real notoriety. They done invited him to come to
See?
the bar. All
He probably elbowed his way in there like, let me
Okay, let me mix these drinks up real quick so they can see my face. Ain't that
Yes.
nothing? So you
But
okay?
I love Stacey. Stacey, the best first season housewife in history. Like
For sure.
automatic fan favorite. Like first
Automatic. I
episode.
agree. I
Automatic.
agree.
But I do have to hold her accountable because that man said he not, doing the do. And it seems like she keep trying to like be like seductive, keep trying to like poke at him, but he already said he not doing it. Why you keep or can we like Stacey? No, because he is like making a fool of you on camera.
Yeah. I think which this part is sad to it's a little sadness from a woman
Yeah.
looking at another woman. I
Mhm.
think, and I feel like she said it to him in a sense, like she wants to know that even though we made a commitment to not have sex until we in this
Uh-huh.
committed relationship,
Mhm.
but do you want me? Like, is it
Yeah.
hard for you to not have sex with me?
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like,
Yeah.
you kind of want to feel that,
Yeah.
right?
Correct.
A
Correct. Yeah.
little like, how, why is it that you're so in control of yourself? You know.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And I thought this was I hate to mention this because I don't like the insinuation sometimes when people
Yeah.
don't give it to you, but she did kind of say she used the term partner.
Mhm.
And so she said no, what did she say? He has had sex with other partners. but he's waiting to have sex with the woman until he's married. And
Yeah,
I
that
thought
word
that was a
is
little bit
yeah,
like a
yeah,
what do
yeah.
you mean?
Partners
You know
definitely
what
used for the
I mean?
LGBTQ community.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
giving
that's a
that for
yeah.
me, and
And
it
I don't
so
yeah, I don't like when people like automatic, oh, he this, he that. I was definitely like anti that. Like, come on, like why people can't be different? Why he can't just be quirky? Why that just can't be their relationship? They came in as best friends. Why that just can't be their dynamic? But then after he was acting like he had some roid rage and being aggressive and all, I'm like, y'all can say what y'all want about him. I ain't on his side no more. He
true
need to go.
that, true that. Like, yeah, until you give some different type of energy, I think we're gonna go along. Cause again, it go along like I don't think a woman should be trying to figure out if you're physically attracted to her. Think
Correct.
that kind of might be a
Mm-hmm.
huge flag.
Yes.
But what I do appreciate with their relationship is with her going through this divorce. Um, it's always nice to have a guy that could be there for you and
Yeah.
not have anything that they're
Yeah.
trying to get from you.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
So I feel like for her, that is probably a nice place to set in right now while she's getting that other stuff taken care of with her divorce.
Mhm.
But yeah, Stacey, you might just want to keep your eyes a little open and, keep your spidey senses,
Yeah.
out because I don't want to see her come back next season and then you heartbroken because this guy that went off and, did the total opposite of everything he told you he was.
Like men do. Like men do. They will embarrass you, child. Have you out there fussing, cussing people out about them. And then next week it's something brand new with them.
Exactly, exactly. So we're gonna keep hope alive for Miss Stacey, huh? We're gonna keep hope alive. So let's go on. Let's talk about since we with the new housewives. Let's go to Kiera, Jacqueline, which I guess Kiera is actually a housewife, and
She's
then
a yeah, full time.
right,
Jacqueline and Jazzy, they're friends.
friends of
Yeah.
okay,
Mhm.
rightfully so. Ja-
So you're not a Jacqueline fan? Which one you not a fan of? Oh, you don't like her?
no, 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 not at
Oh no, I'm a
all.
softie. I just be like, just give her a chance. She trying so hard. She trying to be up there with her adopted sister. She want to
Well,
be
that's what I'm
Mia.
thinking. Is her connection to Mia
Yeah.
for me
Mhm.
that funny enough, I guess maybe because Mia is already the housewife, and so it's like she's somebody we kind of have
Uh
to deal with at this
huh.
point. But with you, and then you kind of coming in being her mouthpiece or like
Yeah.
that thing, and the stuff that you coming in to back up. Yeah, I no,
They
and
ain't got
ever
it
since the
together.
beginning, I've not
Yeah.
been a fan of hers because, like, she like go back to because this has it been 2 seasons
I
or
think
one?
so. I think it's been two.
2. So that first season where she came in, because this is the thing with Mia, which puts me on the I don't like her either.
Hmm.
She loves to play in the gray area.
Yeah.
So like with you brought her in as your friend, and then you kind of led this like weird relationship thing between you, her, Gordon. Then
Mhm.
with the nanny, like at first she was your nanny, but now it seemed like all of y'all use the same nanny. Like I just don't really get the dynamics,
Yeah.
and because Mia has proven to not really have a great relationship with the truth,
Uh huh.
I just don't see why we have to be bothered with you. You know what I mean? Like it's
Yeah.
enough. Trying to
Yeah.
decipher this stuff. Now I guess maybe for the like no, because she really hasn't. She hasn't. She hasn't proven anything to me
Yeah.
that Mia has had to say about her life.
Uh,
Like I say, I feel like Jacqueline is you just there to be her best friend. And going back to that first season, for her and Mia to have fallen out that first season the
yeah.
way we did,
Yeah.
that was a telltale sign for me
Mhm.
because number one, go back to why I don't like Mia. You
Mhm.
proved yourself to be a bad friend.
Yeah.
I don't care what is going on. If we friends in real life, first of all, whether we on TV or not, you can't get me in any room and front me off. You know what I'm saying? Like in front of a group of
And
new
she done did it
friends.
multiple times.
Right. Yeah. And but then now we on national television,
Yeah,
so so what is the deal with y'all? Then the second season, I guess we kind of found that out. But then I felt like that was a little calculated. I
yeah,
hate to do that to people about their story.
yeah,
And I don't like when people try to use their sad parts of their life
to,
in a manipulative way, because
yeah,
that to me that's what it was. You wanted to manipulate the audience because of the story, to
yeah,
not really question what was said, what was, what I mean, going on.
hmm,
And but yet for me, I'm uncomfortable because why isn't this what you told us in the first place, and why is it now that somebody else is having their moment to talk about essay and what has gone through, is
yeah,
that you're not even using that in a open way. You just took it was like yeah, it felt dirty. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like you took this
yeah,
sad little move to get your side out, your little story out in a
yeah,
sense. And it still was just kind of left on the floor. You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
even that story between them, like you blaming her about what happened. What's the deal? What happened? And how did y'all move from that and still stay free? You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like what is going on?
yeah,
So it do seem like Mia pretty much is kind of does what I guess a lot of people do, which is use her friendship for the status. That's what I mean. So
mhm,
now you
to
have
prop her up.
to exactly. So you have to stick along and go with whatever I say, so I can take you along
So
this
you can
ride
tag
with me.
along, yeah, tag it.
And if not, then you off the ride.
But
So Mia,
did you catch that tea about Jacqueline pregnant? But
I thought
that man ain't. He said he ain't the daddy.
I wouldn't be surprised.
But when would
Uh
you have a chance to find another man? Cause she was just all the season is like it'd be like 6 months later than the season air. She looked about 6 months pregnant, and you was all kept bringing him to events. So when did you have a chance to meet a man, get pregnant?
the whole time she was filming, because she only brought
Getting her cues
she
from
only
Mia.
brought him around because that's who she could
Yeah.
see, be connected to, and
Mhm.
still in a way try to keep and present herself in the same light with the other housewives.
Mhm.
So yeah, you got this, what she call them, PP.
P. Yeah.
And it did give that they still was probably
That's smart.
involved with each
Mhm.
other, yeah.
Mhm.
But what I was gonna say is, honey, I was shocked to know that she was pregnant, because I'm
Mhm.
glad I didn't say anything, because I was actually going to screenshot one of Mia's confessional pictures,
Uh-huh.
because I was expecting her
To
to
be
be.
pregnant.
Yes,
Mhm.
I'm almost still expecting it in some, because even
Uh-huh.
with her and Jacqueline, I feel like they got the type of friendship that's like that old high school friendship. You get
Yeah.
pregnant, I get pregnant. You get
Yeah.
married, I
Yeah.
get married,
Yeah.
type of deal.
That's what it seemed like
So
it's going down. Yeah.
yeah, so I'm like, I'm not gonna reserve my thought to say Mia not about to tell us that she pregnant at this
Mhm.
reunion, because
Uh-huh.
that one little picture, or that one she in red or something, she looking real puffy. That might be wrong, but that's all I'm saying, and
But
that's the only thing I got to go on.
they saying that her and Ink unfollowed each other on Instagram again. So
Well, thank God if they did.
we'll see by the time the reunion they'll be back together again.
Honey, she been in a relationship with that man for 20 years, it seemed like. So if they did break up, I don't know if it mean much, because
Yeah.
here you've been in a whole marriage, and
Marriage.
this
Yeah.
man been over on the
Uh-huh.
side.
Yeah.
So, but hope, like for Mia's sake, this is what I'm hoping for her. And this is what I think her problem is with
Uh-huh.
the show, and especially with this season. You have these, and going back to us going, like saying, beginnings of Housewives and Atlanta, we kind of now have moved into this season where you have people that are more interested in being famous, And not to say that she's making up anything. I don't necessarily think she's making up the information, but I do think she's exploiting it.
Yeah, she's dangling it like, yeah.
Yeah. And
It's
then because it has a lot to do with your kids,
yeah.
it don't look tasteful,
Yeah.
and I
That's
have to agree
wicked.
with Giselle when she said you didn't protect your kids. Like for her to kind of that was she I guess she should have been defensive. Maybe being defensive was the right reaction, but
Uh-huh.
to take that in the way that she did and not really hear what Giselle was trying to say to her, because what she's saying is like, you have put your children out on Front Street for this platform,
Mhm.
and the way that, like, how we go into the producers, like, I was uncomfortable those first couple episodes with the
Mhm.
way every time her kids got on the set, they were spanning. We haven't seen her kids' faces as much as we have this season, if
Yeah.
you really
Yeah.
think about it. And if like that's the thing, because here it is, you don't want this type of subject in the public domain,
Uh-huh.
yet you're using it in this
Yeah.
way,
Yeah.
and now you're making a subject for people to comment on who they think your baby daddy is,
Yeah.
and then you turn around and tell, want to clap back by telling people they sound crazy. And
Yeah.
it's like, well, no, this story sounds
It's crazy.
crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, like for somebody to even for and a guy at that. I don't know many
Yeah.
guys who are very adamant that they want a DNA test with somebody because they believe. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you saying no, but they telling you,
Yeah.
yeah, it is.
Yeah.
That's a little strange. To
Yeah.
me, that means something. Yeah, that means like, which I guess Gordon co-signed and let us know, like, yeah, this man been around this whole time. And
Yeah.
now what is happening with the tidbits of information, we're able to really kind of put together your relationship with Gordon. You know
The
what I mean?
timeline.
Like he
Yeah.
was just the money, a money
Mhm.
bag.
Uh-huh.
And I think that's what you always intended for him to be. That's why Ink was over on the side so he could get himself together.
Mhm.
Now with the whole Gordon's mental issues or stuff, I'm uncomfortable with that too. The
Mhm.
way she used that.
Mhm.
He seemed to be pretty sane when we see him.
Yeah, I think Gordon ain't no angel though. I feel like everybody
Well,
putting a lot on Mia, but Gordon, he was married. And he was tricking off on this woman and the other women down to the club. So that man, she was playing him and he was playing her, and they was all playing together. And now the fun is gone. Now it's time to divorce. But Mia still paying that man bills. They living in the same building because she paying the bills.
okay, now so well, should she? I mean,
And that's
like
cause she
you
is. I'm
saying, it was a
surprised.
mutual beneficial agreement, if
Uh-huh.
anything. Like
Uh-huh.
he knew what he was getting out of it, and
Correct.
you knew what you were getting out of it. And it's kind of not like no, Ashley, not the same. But now that the money is gone, and I feel like the way it's gone, the way that it came to be for it to be gone, I think it's Mia's fault. I do. I am gonna put it on Mia
Okay.
in a sense because uh, that's my opinion.
Mhm.
Just looking at the way they were introduced to us. Like
Mhm.
I go back to her saying, "Well, he was the old man in the strip club with no shoes on." Like, who's attracted to that? Like to
Mhm.
me, that was a sign that maybe something was a little off
Off. Yeah.
in the beginning.
Uh-huh.
So for you to kind of like want to like just like you say use these little things, but you never quite you
Tell it.
made it seem like he was fine. And so when y'all get to the reunion, we find out the family then took the money and all of this, because even on the season, it did look like he was just buying stuff, and you looked like you were okay with it. Like we
Mhm.
didn't see like when he did the BM the G wagon,
Mhm.
you were smiling and grinning and telling everybody how you the CEO of his family's company. Like you weren't being honest about what your position was either. It didn't seem
Yeah.
like, because how was if that was hers? How was they able to come and basically take everything
Yeah.
from them? So it seemed to me like, yeah, both of y'all, or maybe Gordon, to appease you, was spending way more money, taking way more money, doing things he wasn't supposed to be doing. And then here you are presenting yourself as the face of this, which it seemed like they didn't give you permission to do. And so they came and got that shit.
And she ain't
That's
got
what
it
it looked
back
like
yet.
for me.
She ain't got it back yet either.
And so I'm thinking like maybe you do kind of help him out
Yeah.
at this
She was
point.
she was saying that he spent all that money when he go through mania. Like
But
when
she
he
be
finished it.
taking it though. That's why I went to the G Wagon. She
Mhm.
specifically went back to the G Wagon and was like, he bought that cash, like that was her example of
Yeah.
that doing something in Mania. But I'm thinking back to what your reaction was, and it was not even not in public. Like so, even when he presented it while y'all all with each other, fine,
Yeah.
accept it, move on. But
Yeah.
when y'all got by yourselves,
He was
unless
like,
we
take
didn't
this
see
back.
this,
Better go.
there was not a conversation, right? And then a couple days later, when you get back with the girls, you didn't tell nobody. Like, I went and took that shit back. He wasn't
Mhm.
supposed. You know what I'm
Trying to save
saying?
face.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You like so. I'm confused too. Is like if you like you're an enabler.
Yeah.
If you know that this is the what he does and how he
Mhm.
behaves, and you accept it, but then turn around and use it to put him out on Front Street.
Yeah.
It's a
Po-
little Mia
po-
got a lot to handle in her personal life. I kind of don't want to see it on the show. Like
yeah.
I'm not that because it's so personal and sensitive.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem like something that we should be a part of.
Mhm. Mhm.
I feel like and it's too late to put it
Pull
all
it back.
back in the
Pull it back.
box.
Yeah, because now we want to know. Like, so wait,
Yeah.
what happened
It-
now?
Right. So it's kind of like but I don't see her going anywhere. I think that she is on a mission, and she wants to be the star of
Yeah,
Potomac.
that's what they saying. Carlos King already crowned her the queen of Potomac.
Did
So
he? Because I don't
yeah, he did that last season when she had the first chair. Remember, she stole Giselle's first chair.
She
He was
did.
like,
She
"This is
did.
Mia's show. This is Mia's show now."
Yeah, you're right. He did. But she's on the mission, and it's hard to watch
Mhm.
and be objective the
Yeah.
way and give her the support she might be looking for.
Mhm.
Like, it's just kind of like, yeah, this thing with your kids, it's a bit too far.
Yeah.
It's a bit too far for
And
me.
then she popped up talk about my children's fathers. And then we done forgot she had an older child. It's like, well, dang, Mia, you got all these kids.
All these fathers of the kids.
Like, Lord,
But
she,
again, there you go playing on the optics,
yeah,
and then treating everybody else like they're
they're crazy.
dumb.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean? It's like, no, that's not cool. Stop playing with words.
But do
Say
you
what it
think?
is.
But how do you feel about that whole thing? It came out on the Jasmine brand, that Mia and Giselle went to the producers to get some of what Mia said about Giselle's children taken out. Cause if Mia and Giselle went to the producers and begged for them to take it out, and they took it out, it's out. Nobody would have known about it. Who told Jazz? Who leaked that to the Jasmine brand? Who would have benefited from that? Is so you think it's true
What is it that they were supposed to take out?
that she called her kids WHORE?
Okay, because when I saw that, I said, now I don't remember hearing
Yeah, it
that.
got cut out, but on the blogs online, it's I don't know if you're familiar with the Jasmine brand.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it's a they had that story. I guess that was their exclusive. That
Okay, I'm
um
gonna have to go and see because did they have the actual film
they
and
didn't
with?
have. I don't think they had a video.
Okay,
It just said like this was the tea about the whole situation.
I
Then neither party, Mia or Giselle, confirmed or denied it.
I
So
think
it's
that's a
like,
stretch. I feel like I can't imagine. I don't. Mia goes far, So
Mhm.
it's hard to tell just how far she would
Yeah, 'cause
go.
that it was weird. Why would you even bring up the boy? Like, that was too much. Like, she said it without saying it. If she didn't say
Well,
it, like,
that's what I was gonna say. Like
yeah.
now, somebody else could have went ahead and just put the word there because,
Mhm,
in my opinion, you bringing up that the girls had snuck a boy in the house while they was in the DR. That
mhm.
was the insinuation, is
Yeah,
that they were being like some type of, like you say,
back yeah.
fast or whatever. But I do agree with Giselle,
Mhm.
like par for the course, Mia. You know, like that, like those two things don't go together.
Yeah.
And you going too far, like when you come and try to use that to say,
Yeah.
I
The whole
think that,
social media. Yeah.
yeah,
Well,
right. Because what I'm doing and the way I
mhm,
post my kids and what is available to the public. See, like that's the difference, and I think that's what Mia don't get. You know
mhm,
what I mean? Like the stuff you are making available to the public in reference to your children,
mhm.
you should keep that to yourself. And those are things that you could keep to yourself. Who
Yeah.
about to go and find out what your IVF schedule, you know what I mean, and stuff was? Nobody ever would have known that there was anything like that going on if
Mhm,
you all hadn't said those words. You know
mhm.
what I mean? So yeah, that was a stretch. And I know people don't like Giselle. So a lot of people, and especially when Wendy kind of tried to make a point about, well, you got mad at me because you thought I frowned when you were
Yeah.
talking. And it was like, I agree with Giselle. Like, no, these are not the same things. You
Mhm.
know what I mean? Like, I said what I need to say to you, and we weren't friends at all. But I
Yeah.
am going to talk to my friend. Like, what are you insinuating by
Yeah.
trying to put out there that I saw my girls,
But Giselle
sneaking a boy in the house?
Giselle
What do
gotta
you
catch
mean?
up, cause
Hmm.
Giselle should have caught it, cause she waited the whole. She gotta process it, girl. She said something about your kids. It's a quick thing. You need to snap it. Hold on. Some kids coming, crying about water. I already gave them water.
Okay, well, the kids gonna cry, honey. I
Oh gracious.
think Giselle is I think she's having a great season.
Me too. Wendy too.
Wendy too.
They really propping Wendy up. They really giving her a break for all the HELL she done caught. Um she got all dedication. They done had 12 birthday parties. They
Yeah.
done went around the table, told
Well,
how
they faked her out on that one birthday party
uh-huh.
because on the one birthday, what is it that I thought to myself? Because she had to keep telling them like it's my birthday, and I'm thinking,
No, because I think it was because it wasn't her event. When they had went to North Carolina, it was Mia's event. But they just celebrated her anyway. They getting
okay, okay,
balloons
but
and
I was
all that
like,
stuff because
girl,
they
like
was.
this wasn't your birthday though. Like that's what you didn't understand.
And then they
Like,
went out to eat. They had the balloons. They went out to eat, but it was actually Mia's event. Mia was
right.
hosting that North Carolina trip, and
Cause
then
that's why I felt weird when she had her friends come
yeah,
and they
yeah,
all saying, I was like, wait a minute now,
uh
ain't
huh,
they supposed to be celebrating Wendy's
Wendy,
birthday?
uh huh,
I was like, girl, they duped you on this one, honey. But what I am glad for Wendy,
mhm,
Wendy especially, because I like Wendy, and I was rooting for Wendy
mhm.
for a long time, but her need to be friends with Giselle
Yeah, it was very.
just really,
Candace too. Candace really wanted to be their friend too.
Candace
She
kind of was, but it was always her mouth.
yeah got her.
Like Candace just goes too far.
Mhm.
Um,
So
and
do we miss her? And
I
do we
miss
miss?
her in general.
Yeah, but the season, I'm surprised. The season ain't needed. And
That's
I
what
was
right.
thinking,
That's what right.
we need her. We
Hmm.
need our sister. We need our sister. But the season, it just been rolling, going
It is.
along. Yeah,
Well, I think the Karen DUI thing is kind of
yeah. I overshadow.
holding it
Yeah.
together
Mhm.
in a sense because I do think we all are, especially now. We didn't inch on almost. I guess we don't like Kiera and Jazzy. We like, forget them. But like I said, I do miss her. I miss her. Like
Yeah.
I want to
We
see
love, we
her on
love her.
something else. I
We love
think
her.
I
Yeah.
do miss her,
Uh-huh.
but I agree that I don't find any. Same with
Back.
Robin. I don't find any lack. Yeah, in what's going on. And I even though the Mia stuff is too much, Jacqueline is kind of being a little too much.
Mhm.
Even with those things, it's not telling me that it's because of those two missing.
Yes.
Like I feel like these two would
I
still
agree.
be behaving the way that they are, whether she was here or not. So it seems to be a breath of fresh air. And again, because you're not arguing with somebody who going like
For the
beneath the
judgment.
gutter.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a little different because I think that was hard for Candace to understand too. Is like y'all on the show, and I know the show is to work out differences and things like that. But it's gonna be hard to keep some friends if you know what I'm saying, cutting their throat every time y'all get into it. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
it's some stuff. Even just as a person, for me, you say something too bad to me, you don't come back from that. Like,
Correct.
what do you mean? So we done. And I
Yeah.
think that's where, and with her being pregnant and a new mom, I feel like this was the perfect time for her to be
Mhm.
home and just transitioning, hopefully to something different. Maybe I don't know if she's gonna put out some more music, or maybe we'll see her on Traders or something
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
But I
I
would
love
like to see her again.
I love how she's been handling it. She's very active on X, Twitter, whatever you want to call it. She hasn't even really been talking about the show. She's just been talking about, regular stuff, Beyonce concert, and she been
As
talking
she
about
should.
stuff. She just been like in her own little world. She posts her little sweet baby with his face covered, but she posts her baby. And
Mm-hmm.
she just living her life. Like but
Yeah.
I do think she wanna come back. I think she wanna come back.
Well, of course she do. I think that she likes the little fodder, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? But and then even the back and forth. When the back and forth is fun, like Karen and Giselle,
Uh-huh.
then it's fine. It just gets a little nasty, and for me, even just my age group, like maybe for a different age group that's still okay, but
Yeah.
some of us are a little too grown and we just
Yeah.
don't want to see y'all doing that to each other. You know what I mean? Like, so yeah, I think she's gonna be okay. I would like to see her come back and do something else though.
Okay.
I guess let's talk about Kiera and Jazzy. They're not bringing anything for me. I'm
Yeah.
not really sure how Kiera even ended up back as a full time.
I
Maybe
know.
they felt bad because she got into that
They feel
altercation.
bad. They're trying to save a lawsuit because she already suing Deborah.
Right,
So they
which
trying to
as
like,
she
hey, we
should,
like you.
because
We like you. Come on. We're your friends. Don't sue us.
yeah,
Yeah.
because I don't like Ashley with her messy self. Now she's one that can kind of go.
Yeah. But she trying a
Um,
little bit. When and in the beginning, like the first couple episodes of this season, I was like, okay, Ashley, I don't want to hear about you fake dating all these people. I don't want to hear that.
well, now
But
she got a whole fake boyfriend.
yeah, but as the season has progressed, she has talked about the divorce more. I thought she wasn't really gonna talk about it, but she talked about it, and I feel like she's been giving like some stories. She talked about like this man is a colonizer. He is gonna take me for everything. Like he is gonna back me. Like he's gonna. I gotta be able to fight. I need to be ready financially,
Right.
mentally. All I had to have my ducks in a row. So I do appreciate that, but she's still probably gonna be all the way at the end. For
Yeah, I feel like too little, too late.
okay, okay,
Maybe those are things because even I think I watched Carlos King's live last Monday, and the guy Dustin, he made a good point. Like you really could, like, I'm not interested in necessarily the random dates either.
yeah,
But you could be more upfront and forthcoming
uh
with
huh,
why this divorce is even going,
yeah,
because some of the stuff, like when she kind of threw out the infidelity to the
yeah,
therapist,
yeah.
it was kind of like, yeah, well, we saw all of that and you the one told us that it was us that
I talked about
like.
that. I talked about that. At first, it was just like, "Oh, what did you talk about? People lying." Then it turned around. We got an open relationship, open marriage. We like to invite people, and then now all of a sudden, now we separated. it's like, okay, what's
Yeah,
going on?
can you
Yeah.
give us the timeline again? Because you told us we was crazy for
Yeah.
believing all of that
Yeah.
stuff. So
And first, no, first he was touching people butt.
that's what it
He was
was.
grabbing.
And remember, it was every season though. You know, like every season,
He couldn't
her
get enough.
husband is with one more, and it just got like it was an escalation.
Uh-huh.
Like you said, at first
Yeah.
it was touching the butt, because at first it was Andrew's butt. It
Yeah.
wasn't even one of the
Yeah.
producers. The
Yeah.
next season it was the producer. The
Yeah.
next season you got a
And he
whole
was just,
picture on the
oh,
internet.
he's just foreign. He's from, he's from Australia. That's just how
That's
they
right. That's what
are.
they pulled that first
Mhm.
season.
Mhm. Mhm.
But it's like we not in the locker room, because like even some of that men probably would could have
Brush
understood
it off,
if the
or yeah.
setting was right.
Yeah.
Like the setting
Yeah.
not even right,
Mhm.
like, so no, nobody understands that. Why are you going around,
Touching on
pinching
people.
people butts?
And then you remember they had the audio of the producer or the cameraman or whoever you touch, and he was like, "Hey, bro, don't do that again." Like that man was serious.
Very. And that's what Chris said. Like, yeah, if you did something by accident, then you say, I'm sorry. Not
Yeah.
like, oh, okay. Because that insinuate that you knew exactly what you
Yeah.
did. And he
Yeah.
let you know, don't do it again.
Yeah.
And it wasn't a, oh, my bad. Because that is what I feel like what a normal person would
Yeah.
say if they touched you inappropriately somehow, and didn't mean to.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Ashley is skating on along. I
Mhm.
guess she'll continue to skate along. She don't really have any. Mia's being messy enough, so I guess she's giving all the girls a break this season.
Yeah.
Oh, and definitely Karen. So, honey, Karen. Listen, first, let me just say this. After that footage came out,
Yeah.
which was it was sad to watch,
Mhm.
hard to watch
Mhm.
and
I ain't watched
sad
the
to
whole thing.
watch. Huh?
I ain't watched the whole thing.
Well, I don't know if, and I can't even be for sure if I watched the whole thing. I know maybe I have. I know I've watched two different ones, which is
Mhm.
her. Actually, I think I saw three, because
Mhm.
there's her at the site where
Mhm.
Ray is there.
Mhm.
Then she's in the car with the
Mhm.
police officer, and then
Mhm.
she's at the
And
jail.
yeah, she's yeah, huh?
And all three
Was horrible. Drunk as a
horrible.
skunk. Drunk as a skunk.
Here I go. She had to not remember that that had even
No,
took place.
I just talked about this. I'm like, okay, if she ain't remember and she was like, no, I need to fight this. I need to fight this. They be having access to the footage. Like the lawyers and all that could have access. And then Ray was there. So Ray, your old tail, remember, you was there and you struggling, nervous, remembering back in civil rights days, scared in front of the police officers. So you know. And then I know the higher ups at Bravo got their hands on that footage too.
Well, you know what I'm thinking? Actually, I don't think, because you do have to realize it is a legal thing. I feel
Mhm.
like it came out after that verdict,
Uh-huh.
because that's when it's available to
Uh-huh.
everybody. While it's going on, I don't
Uh-huh.
think that it is,
I
unless
think that
somebody does leak it.
I think it was leaked, but it
Oh,
got leaked
okay.
after. But I think you can get access to body cam footage during, because I feel like I've seen like recently there's a rapper, I don't remember his name, child.
But you have to figure out who it is that's releasing it, because like a person like us,
Mhm.
like
Yeah.
you would have to have a lawyer, you know what I mean, to kind of
Okay.
get it from the police department, you
Uh-huh.
know what I'm saying.
Uh-huh.
But like let's say a newspaper, like
Uh-huh.
those type of entities
They
could
have
probably
access.
access stuff like
Uh-huh.
that. But I'm not even sure if they, like, I don't know what the rules would be about, because like when we think about something being leaked, the terminology would imply that it wasn't supposed
To
to.
come out. Yeah.
Right, and that
Mhm.
somebody got it and put it out, whether
Uh-huh.
that be a newspaper or
Mhm.
some, or like an investigator. But I would think that however way they got it was not by the right way either.
Okay. Yeah.
However, because her verdict had come out before that video got
Mhm.
released, it seemed to me that it possibly was released in this right form.
Okay.
Because I
Mhm.
wonder if you could get it once a case is closed. Because now this is why I'm thinking all of this is very interesting for Karen,
Yeah.
and Karen got a lot of crow to eat at
I'm
this
su-
reunion.
I'm surprised people like on social media. People were like, "Oh, you think Karen going to the reunion? You think Karen's going? She
I don't
better
think
have
that
her
I
tail."
already kind of said myself. I don't think
I
that she is.
That was not even a thought in my mind. This lady needs to be there, or she is going to
I
be
don't
fired.
think she is.
She is going to get immediately fired. It's no way.
She for
First of all,
sure.
bro, you need to pay them legal fees, and if you go to jail, you need some money for that commissary. And you gonna need to be paying that light bill still, cause Ray ain't got no job. Ray got a
Ray
job, so you
ain't got
need
no
to have your.
job.
But the reunion supposed to be happening this month. It might
Yeah,
have already happened.
because after that body cam footage, and it's funny that I thought that too, but I feel like the next day is when they put like they had a date for that reunion because it was
Uh huh.
like, yeah, you got to try to get her as fast as you can,
Uh huh.
and two, the great thing about it is that the case is closed, so she can,
Yeah.
even if she does show up to the
Mhm.
reunion. She can't fall back on it's an open case. I
Gotta.
don't want to say anything. And so, but that's the reason why. And going back to, so you probably never watched Beverly Hills. Okay, so I'm thinking about Lisa Vanderpump. She's the only person I think that was a full-time cast member
Uh
and
huh.
did not come to the reunion, and that was how she left the show because she didn't
Uh
come
huh.
back that next
Uh huh.
season either. She been done ever since.
Mhm.
And it was, of course, it wasn't like a DUI or nothing. She just didn't
Yeah.
want to be
Yeah, she
bothered with
deal
the
with it.
girl.
Yeah. It was a lot of.
And so for Karen, because again, I was very shocked that
Mm.
the footage gets released. That next episode that come on TV, you have the audacity to threaten Jacqueline with a police report that you filing a police report on her.
Trespassing.
Somebody who dealing with the type of stuff that you dealing
But
with.
you got to remember, she was petitioning the court to have the body cam footage suppressed.
Duh, because what you want that?
But Karen is smart. Karen is smart. She gonna get to that reunion. She gonna use her words. She gonna dress it up. It's gonna be flowery. But she gotta take
Well, see,
accountability.
she's still gonna lose her job then if that
She
is how she coming,
Yeah,
she's
it gotta
still
be
gonna
full
lose her
force, but
job.
it's gonna be confident. It's gonna be in her Karen way, but it gotta be full force. It can't be because I miss my mom and daddy. It can't be
It
because
is,
my
well, she already going there though. She going there with her and Ray been having, like,
yeah.
she is
That's what I was gonna say.
wrapping her way up to to that.
Uh huh.
And then but this, like I said, with her threatening Jacqueline about I'm gonna go file a report on
Uh
you.
huh.
I thought, we got about 10 more episodes to go.
Uh
Even
huh.
if they film this reunion like in the next week or so, we
Hmm.
still got 10 episodes, which they're gonna see it all, you know what I
Yeah.
mean, and be able to discuss it. But
Yeah.
what's interesting to me, because going back to her demeanor and the way
Yeah.
she carries herself and
Yeah.
what you've already shown us, I'm really thinking you just digging your heels in the ground even deeper as
That's
the
why
season go
it's
on.
cringy. It's
It's
cringy.
very cringy
Like,
because it's
oh
kind
God.
of like, and how do you come back from that and then portray humbleness? Because I
Yeah.
feel like this is the time where you should have been humble. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? At least
Yeah.
because you don't know what was about to happen.
Yeah. Too
And
confident. Too
when
too prideful.
let's go to that. When you saw that footage, it was like, girl, you had the people thinking that there was something that was supposed to be a question.
But
Like
listen,
maybe you wasn't drunk.
it's one thing, okay, you driving drunk, you may be swerving, police pull you over, or you might have fell asleep in the car or something like that. Girl, you got into a car accident
Girl, wait, you bounced off the median, hit
off
three
the
stop
road.
signs, and then a tree. But not
So
even that, because it's not. I don't even think this is what I say. I give it, and this is so going to. I hear people on the internet foddering about like why would her job be at risk because there's been two other housewives that
that
have had DUIs,
mm-hmm.
and I feel like most people don't watch those shows who probably commenting on this. They just
Mm-hmm.
have the information.
Mhm.
But I watch those shows and those people, and
Mhm.
what I'm gonna say is they had a whole different.
That you
They came in
response.
different at,
Yeah.
yeah, to
Yeah.
what was
Send them is
happening.
different. Yeah.
And so I think too, like, so on one end you can't compare the two
Yeah.
because and then with, like, say the one Luann's, we watched all of this. And we watched her be drunk on
Crow.
on camera. So
Mhm.
on one end, her doing the DUI kind of was like, well, but then two, knowing what had happened with that husband, and and she said she went to Palm Springs, she drank too much. All of that made sense because the man was cheating on her a week after they got married.
I'll be drinking too.
Exactly. That's what, like, we could all understand, right?
Yeah.
And we just lucky, even though she did try to fight the police officer, honey, we just lucky that she didn't hurt nobody,
Yeah.
like, because,
Yeah.
like, as a female, we all get it, and to that point. And going back to Karen, anybody, even somebody in my personal life,
Mhm.
um, stuff happens. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Not everything is intentional. Sometimes people get DUIs and I don't think they mean to. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like,
Yeah.
and not to say whether it's okay or not. I'm not telling people it's okay to drink and drive. But what
Mhm.
I am saying, as a 44-year-old adult, it happens.
Yeah.
People get in their car when they're not supposed to,
Yeah.
and drive.
Yeah.
This being her second, so, like, for those other housewives, that was their first.
Yeah.
However bad, and both were bad in their own sense, because Shannon ran into somebody's house.
Fighting a man and all that.
But
Front of
same
his
thing,
head.
fighting a man. But like, so, but it's, again, it's always the how you handle it. My mom used to say this all the time when I grow up, and I say it now. It's not what you do, it's how you do it. Like,
Correct.
you can do something, and it could go over way different if you
Yeah.
take care of it the right way.
Correct.
But kind of coming around and you still got
Snooty.
your head up,
Yeah.
like Luann, going back to her being the Luann had to get rid of that countess
Yeah.
because that wasn't working with
Yeah.
you running around town. You like sleeping with every Tom, Dick, and Harry. You know what I mean? Like,
They love to sleep around at the OG New York child. Them
yes,
old
like,
ladies.
but it
They
wasn't. It
stay
didn't
low.
match up with your countess. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, so
Yeah.
she had to let that go, and
Uh-huh.
thank God she did, because it was like she had to let it go, not just because she got divorced from the man, but
Yeah.
because it didn't add up with what we was looking at. We saw her cheat on her boyfriend on the show.
Uh-huh.
You're not the countess anymore. You're not telling nobody how to have good manners. Okay.
Exactly. Exactly. And
And
yeah,
so that's what
this
I mean with
old school New
Karen.
York give me a headache because it's like they were so hard on like Tinsley and Leah.
Oh yeah,
Talk about,
yeah.
oh, you got tattoos. Ugh, I respect my body. Bruh, we done seen you e- just
You
spread
not
wide open.
lying. You not lying. They gave Tinsley the blues,
Yes.
especially
And she
Dorinda.
kept coming back.
And
Dorinda,
see, and that's what
I used
I
to
would say.
like
The only reason why Dorinda don't have a DUI is because Dorinda don't drive.
drive. But she live in New York. They don't drive in New York. I used to love Dorinda, but it's like, girl, how drunk you gonna be? Like, you gonna keep being drunk and then say something, then
And
say
just cussing
sorry?
everybody
It's just
out.
like, it's so aggressive. Like, girl, I think, girl, you might like women, because I think that's where the aggression and the frustration comes from. Because why you just keep drinking? You just keep drinking and then just keep making a bombs. But
Yes,
like,
girls. It was Dorinda. Dorinda was one of a kind.
uh,
I hate to say this, but I feel like Dorinda just reminded us all of, like, that drunk family member. You
yeah.
know.
Yeah, every party, you messing up the party. We can't even enjoy ourselves. You just ruining everything. Being so crazy.
I used to tell my kids that I'm like, she'll get drunk and cuss everybody out.
Exactly. Every single time.
Kick
At
them
her
out the house if
party,
they at her
your
house.
party, she don't care where she at.
That and she did Tinsley, so like that's when I think because wasn't that her last season too, or did she come back for one more? But that season when she what she did to Tinsley, the way she went off on her,
Uh-huh.
and yeah, it was like okay, girl, you
Yeah.
doing a lot.
Yeah.
Like we, some stuff because it's your life. You know what I mean? And you who's telling somebody in their 60s what they can and can't do? You
Correct.
know, like nobody. You know what I'm saying? Nobody. And
Hmm.
and rightfully so, you've been on the earth long enough to decide what you want to do for yourself.
Correct.
Like,
You ain't no baby.
who am I?
Hmm.
So, what I'm saying. So with that, it was just kind of like you said, it turned from fun to something else. Like at
Yeah.
first it was kind of fun to see you kind
Uh-huh.
of do that, and
Uh-huh.
then it kind of just got like,
Too
yeah,
much.
girl, no, you're doing too much. You're
Yeah.
going too far, and it's not looking that good. I guess Luann had to be the one to bring because Luann was more of the fun drunk,
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Fall,
falling in the
falling.
bushes, like not caring. She ain't get
But
up,
all
cuss
of them
out
used to be
nobody.
drunk. All
Hmm.
of them used to be drunk. That's why Bethany filed that lawsuit. Talk about they don't feed us. They fill us up with liquor and all this and all that.
No, they feed them. Y'all just don't eat. That's what
Bethany
I
definitely don't look like she been eating, child.
Bethany never outside of maybe her first season,
Uh-huh.
she has always looked like
Real
too
thin.
thin.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like it's too thin. Not saying like you fat, but no, too thin.
Yeah.
But Bethany, Bethany done got full of herself a lot too. She done got her little money, and I never thought the day would come where I don't care for her that much anymore. She at this point in the game and the climate, she inserts herself in things and opinions
Mm-hmm.
that she should sit out.
Mm-hmm. I
Um
it's more housewives that I like than I don't.
Mhm.
Like I cannot stand Ramona. I don't like that bitch.
I can understand that.
I don't like her. I definitely didn't like Vicky, but now with her podcast,
Now
I
Vicky
don't
is
really
my
watch it.
favorite.
I didn't. Oh, I couldn't
Now,
stand her
Vicky,
for a
funny
moment.
with Vicky had been my very first favorite
Uh
housewife.
huh.
Like,
Uh huh.
because of course it was from Orange County. So
Uh huh.
from that group, and even the group that we started with,
Let's
she
see.
was my favorite. But I'm gonna tell you what about me, what I've noticed. Um, just looking back on my trends,
Uh huh.
I always seem to like
The
the independent, the kind of like I can get it done myself, the
yeah,
independent
yeah,
lady. Like
yeah.
I've always found myself drawn to that energy.
Okay.
And I think that's what it was with her. Like even on Orange County, because let's go back to think about these housewives were brought to us to be aspirational,
Yeah.
and so with
Lifestyle.
Orange County, the premise was that they lived behind the gates,
Uh
like so where everybody else is just in Orange County,
huh.
they had this exclusivity
Yeah.
about them. And so then when you get into their homes and the lifestyle and stuff like that, Vicky just like because Gina, her husband was like an ex-ball player, and even though Gina like had a job, like she was like a real estate agent, that
Mhm.
didn't seem to be her main source of income. It seemed to be her
Yeah.
husband.
Yeah.
And so like again, even though they were called housewives, because
Yeah.
most of them had been married at the time, Vicky just Vicky just was like this strong woman that I just found myself,
Mhm.
like I say, drawn to. I just really liked her. And then when it was time to have fun, she had a lot of fun. Like that's my kind of girl. You know what I'm saying? Like I love it. I'm like, yes, party or kick it. You know what I mean? And then when it's time to work, you know what I mean? Get to work so you can get
Mhm.
back to partying. like, like I like that little balance. So and even through the seasons, different things would happen with her. That whole thing with Brooks, like there may have come a time where I probably didn't prefer the way she was acting.
Yeah.
But I never, but she still is always have remained a favorite for me.
Okay.
I love Vicky.
Okay.
Yeah. And because think about it, she's still working.
She is. I like her personality now. Like I'm liking her a little bit, but I couldn't stand her at first. It was Ramona, Vicky. Who else? I can't. Phaedra.
Oh
I
my
can't stand.
God. I
It's like, how do y'all
Phaedra was
like her?
excellent on Traders.
I didn't watch it. I didn't watch
You would like that, but
it.
she
Okay.
was excellent on Traders.
Uh huh.
The reason why is because you don't need any personal information from me.
That's what
I'm for
everybody
real.
was saying. That's what everybody was saying.
You don't need them to share. Like you don't care what's going on in whatever.
Mhm.
But yeah, Phaedra is this enigma for
Yeah.
me. It's like I don't necessarily understand a person who wants to be famous, but so secretive about
Everything.
yeah,
She
yeah.
want to be the puppet master. It's just like, how y'all can even like her? How you trust anything she's saying? She not
I don't know
honest.
how she got back on Atlanta.
Child, cause Candy gone, Candy girl.
But even still, cause like this is what and I'm glad we doing this because this is gonna give me the motivation to
Uh huh.
pick Atlanta back up. Cause after
Yeah.
last season,
Oh,
I dropped Atlanta. I was not
wow.
going back to them.
Okay.
Those last two seasons that
Uh
they
huh.
had, even
Uh huh.
though I was ecstatic for Marlo. I mean, and again,
Yeah.
So I'm go back to what type of chick I am.
Uh huh.
Marlo, I really, even though I was happy that she had finally got her peach, I remember telling my cousin, I said, dang, I wish, because it took so long, I wish Marlo had gotten to the point where she gave him that damn thing back. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like at this point, like there was a time when I
Her
wanted
way.
it, and now that you're giving it to me, I don't even want it anymore.
Yeah.
Take it back, go find somebody else. But
Mhm.
unfortunately, it was the thing she had been hoping and waiting for. And then when we get to the season, here we go with King. Now that's the one I don't like for real. I
Okay.
don't like Kenya. That's the one I don't like, and I never have.
Oh
And
wow.
oddly enough, I liked her before she got on. Like I liked what
Yeah.
she represented. Of course,
Uh
being the second Black Miss America. Like I've always known who Kenya Moore was since I was a little girl.
huh.
Cause and me being dark, I'm always into that stuff. You know what I
Yes.
mean? Who
Yes.
got this and that? So
Yes.
I always thought she was a beautiful person. And her entrance onto the Housewives, like some people reality TV doesn't do them well.
Yeah.
And I think for me that's the case with Kenya.
Mhm.
Like I feel like you would have gone further just had we not known this part of you.
Yeah.
Cuz this part of you is not representative of even what we want to like. I don't know, like you're a mean girl and malicious and
Yeah.
nasty, and
Mhm.
it's not attractive. Like you too beautiful to act
Yeah.
so ugly. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like it's ridiculous. But
Yeah.
like she is a immediate no for me.
I like Kenya. Like I said, I like
You
more.
such a sweetheart because
I
you
know.
got to
I
have
be
a
giving everybody
big
a
heart to
chance.
find some room for her in it. Like,
I do. I do. I like Mia. I mean, Jacqueline do too much, but I like Jacqueline. It's nobody really on Potomac that I don't like, and even on Married to Medicine, I like Sweet Tea, but I'm Dr. Heavenly's girl. Like,
let's get on to Married to Medicine while
yes,
we're
yes,
talking about
yes.
sweet tea. Now that sweet tea, honey. Sweet tea is sweet. Sweet tea does not fit in with the girls. Sweet tea is going to have a hard time. And so I do not that I don't think she can't bring anything to the
Uh
show,
huh.
but I think she's going to have a hard time. So, like how we said with Stacy, Stacy can come in her skin with
Yeah.
her boy. You know what I mean? Like her extra properness, her extra, like maybe bouginess, whatever those characteristics are. We want to associate that with. And with T, it seems like she has this desire to prove just how different she is.
Uh huh.
And or she has a desire to stay different. That's what I'm like. She has a desire to make sure she's not um trying to be like the ladies.
Uh-huh.
But I think that it's kind of, you can't have it both ways. You either want to get in with them or
Or
you really don't. You know what I mean? Like, and because Married to Medicine is a different machine than the Housewives, you
yeah,
either got to be their friends or you not. You know what I mean? Like, there is no space for you to be over here on the island, which
yeah,
that's what Quad is finding out. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Like, on your own.
yeah,
These girls actually do know each other. You know what I mean? They actually, so like, and like I say, it's not the same as the Housewives. The Housewives film and probably go on about their business. You got a couple
yeah,
people that's friends, but that's not what which is why I think most of us like Married to Medicine
yeah,
so much. Like, even you think Dr. Heavenly is the one that has changed the most out of all of them.
yeah.
Which I like Dr. Heavenly. I
I
like
love that.
her. I like her ability to just keep it 100, say how
Uh-huh.
she feel,
Uh-huh.
But what I am not, I'm not feeling her. I'm not feeling her transitions. I'm not feeling that because it's making me look at you like you're chasing something that don't seem to be you. Like,
Mhm.
I remember the days you came in and you was throwing you being a doctor in Toya's face,
Yeah,
and you had a problem with people blogging as a job, and
yeah,
now
yeah.
you do this,
Uh-huh.
and you probably making more money at it than your dentistry.
Child.
Hell, she only go to work half a day.
She got that lady said she got a whole staff. She don't need to go to work.
Right, but I'm confused because that's
Yeah,
not
what is
kind
going
of like
on?
what they were saying about Wendy. That's not what you presented to me.
Yeah,
You presented to me this studious person
yeah.
who, you know what I mean, like that was live this,
It's
and you
professional.
love your profession.
Uh-huh.
So I think about like that's the Dr. Jackie and Simone,
Uh-huh.
like they OBGYNs. You don't see them shifts. Because even being an OBGYN, there is no rearranging my schedule to make it fit this filming.
Yeah.
Like if one of my patients going into labor,
Mhm.
I gotta be there. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Like that, like is
Good
there,
doctor will be there.
and that, which going back to Dr. Heavenly, because that's what the girls was doing to her when they first got on. And I do medical billing for my professional job,
Uh-huh.
but when you're going to school for stuff like that, or even I feel like maybe even medical, but there is a joke about being an MD and then
Versus
a dentist.
yeah.
And the joke is that dentists are the people who couldn't get into med school.
Mhm. It is.
Uh,
Yeah, it's a negative
It
connotation.
is. There's a negative connotation. And like I said, and they were kind of pushing that on her a little
Yeah.
bit, making her kind of out to be not as astute as them
Yeah.
because she was
Yeah.
a dentist.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. You're kind of proving a point in a sense because you're taking yourself away from it quite easily.
Mhm. 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 I get.
I can't, yeah, they, for them, they seem to love what they do the same way they told us when they got here. And
Mhm.
so the money that they getting here hasn't changed the dedication to what they started out doing. And
Mhm.
even in their appearance, in their dress, like they still just are them.
Yeah, they look
Which
like
I
that.
really like that, like, but Dr. Heavenly, you turning into like a Instagram baddie. And don't you think?
I
Did
don't
you
think
see
she's not.
that outfit she had on the last,
Oh
her
yeah.
boobs coming all out
Okay,
and
you're right.
stuff?
You're right. You're right. You're right. She been trying to wear these outfits, but I feel like it's because of all the chatter that's been going on. There are women of certain age, and she trying to, look youthful, but she
But
got the
that
BBL.
appears that you're not comfortable with yourself.
Yeah,
Because
but that dress
I don't
last
think that the
season.
internet should
Mhm.
be what causes you
Mhm.
to change, unless that was something that was all. Now we know she had the gastric, so we know that her body image
Uh huh.
is something that's on her mind because she went and had surgery to lose weight and stuff.
Looks like and the BBL.
But like I said, like it just.
I think.
I mean, I because I want to be able to tell the difference between just upgrading yourself. You know
Uh,
what I'm saying? Like some stuff, like getting a good weave. That's
mhm.
cool. Like all the girls, your first season, like T, first season, you
She's
don't
still
know.
a mess this
Second,
season.
she do, but she got somebody helping her. Like, cause that outfit at the Cowboy Carter,
She
man,
look a
listen,
mess.
I had to throw Contessa under the bus because
Uh-huh.
Contessa is the worst.
Yeah.
With the not knowing who
The
you
fashion.
are.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
Yeah. Not knowing
Well,
who you are.
well, so that goes into her fashions to me because
Uh-huh.
that's why I think I put on the post like she just tries so hard and she always misses. But the
Mhm.
sadness to that because we all might try and try a little hard for different
Yeah.
things.
Yeah.
You don't have to. You
Yeah.
have a body that's better than all of their bodies. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like you,
Just need
whatever you put
confidence.
on.
Yeah.
So it's like for you to show up at the Cowboy Carter in this leotard, like what are you doing? And
She
where are
thought
you
she was
going?
Beyonce. She thought she was Beyonce herself. She was about to start singing. Child. But it's really Scott. It's
I
Scott.
think I'm
That's what.
Beyonce too, but I think I would. I tell everybody if you are not the Beyonce of your own life,
Mm-hmm.
you are doing something wrong. There's
That's
no
correct.
way you're not supposed to think you Beyonce in your life. You know
Correct.
what I'm saying? So
Correct.
yeah, I am the Beyonce.
Me too. I'm Beyonce, Michelle,
Okay,
Candy.
that's what I'm saying. Like I'm all of them over
Yes.
here. Okay, but because so I'm not mad at that. I'm not
Yeah.
mad at you. And
Yeah.
anybody thinking that they Beyonce and doing everything they can, to meet the mark. I'm not
Yes.
mad at it. But the stripper shoe, the
Ah!
like it was all off.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was.
And
That's what I
she's trying
mean.
to get
Like
her
you.
job back, and it's Scott in her ear. No, that's what Dr. Heavily said on one of her lives. Like Scott be in her ear telling her she not beautiful, she not good enough. Da 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 da.
You
da.
know, and that's why she is so angry with Heavenly
Mhm.
because Heavenly did unfortunately breach her
A trust.
confidentiality with
A
her.
trust.
Yeah. Because I think that, and here's the thing, right, wrong, or indifferent, when you close friends with somebody and then you start to spew stuff about their relationship,
Mhm.
it's only right to think that most of what you're saying has you got it, you know what I'm saying,
From that
firsthand from
person.
that
Yeah.
person.
Mhm.
And even though, like, I do think Contessa, because that go back to her not knowing who she is. Like Contessa spent though every season that she had been on
Mhm.
revamping herself, and
Yeah.
now that
Going
you
back to
just
school.
right,
The
then it's right,
weightlifting.
yeah.
Mhm.
Even going back to her babysitter, she had to fire her babysitter because here, like I told my cousin, like when you think about it, that lady didn't just start acting like that. You know what I mean? She had
Mhm.
probably already been that way.
Yeah.
Now you have the cameras here, and it's embarrassing.
Yes.
See, you were embarrassed, and that's what she was feeling. She
Mhm.
was feeling that from her. You know what
Okay.
I'm
That
saying?
makes
It's like you
yeah.
embarrassed by me, and
Yes.
and I'm like that in my life. I can be reactive in a sense of when I'm feeling the energies and stuff. Like
Mhm.
I kind of just gotta call it out. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like I
Yeah.
usually I can't really just sit around something so so strange to me. And so just looking at how like even on that episode when it happened when the lady left and everything, um yeah, that like you might not want to say it in those exact words, but that's exactly what happened. The cameras got there and you started to think about what the portrayal looked like for
Yeah.
her and what the public might say and what names they may call her.
Yeah.
And it really wasn't about her protection, it was more about you. Because
Yes.
ever since then, we've seen you, like to say, do these belly flips into
something.
presenting yourself in this way, like the surgeon general being a goal. Like,
Mhm.
how did you only go to one semester of school and all of a sudden abandon a goal like that?
Yeah, yeah. Dr. Heavily say she worried about her in that regard because it's like, girl, why you so skinny? Why we
Well,
can
she
see?
probably did that when she did the bodybuilding.
No, but she got smaller.
Oh,
She's way
she's smaller
smaller.
than that? Okay, because
She's smaller than
bodybuilders be
yeah.
tiny, even though they be
Yeah.
muscular, they
Uh
be
huh.
small.
She transformed, but you can see it even in her face. Her face is
Mm.
completely different. Like it's like,
And
are you okay? But Dr. Heavenly said that she's smaller than Dr. Jackie. You know Dr. Jackie.
oh
Oh,
well, now that, yeah,
yeah,
that.
yeah. You know Dr.
I'm
Jackie.
sure Dr. Jackie is proud, like 'cause
You know Dr. Jackie don't like no extra little
that's
fat.
what I'm saying. I'm sure she is happy about that. Like,
Uh huh.
girl.
Uh
Like
huh.
she tried to tell them girls something about they cornbread go to the wrong places.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Like,
yeah,
now
yeah,
see,
yeah, yeah.
I've been on both ends. Not necessarily, I've been on both ends where I've been always been small my whole life, and
Mhm.
then I got to a point where I gained a lot of weight. You know what I mean? And so it looked different. I look
Yeah,
different. You know what I
yeah,
mean? And but the thing about it, black people especially, we have this real bad
yeah.
about commenting on people's weight
Wait.
as if that's a greeting.
Yeah.
I used to tell people about that, like,
Mhm.
oh, you so skinny. Like, well, hello to you too. You
It's
know what I
hurtful on
mean?
both ends when you know you more around. It's like, well, dang.
Right.
And
Oh,
then
you
when you
gained so much weight. Well,
yeah.
hello to you too. Like, where's the high? You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Like, and
yeah.
then too, the other thing is, like, as if somebody don't look at themselves.
Like they don't
Number
already know.
one, like, and
Yeah.
sometimes you don't like. There's a way to do things like so. Because I used to be very self conscious about my size because of the way that people commented on it. Now,
Uh-huh.
don't get me wrong. It never. What I knew for sure was nothing was necessarily wrong with me because
Mhm.
every time I turn around, somebody on some diet trying to get to the size.
Exactly. Exactly. Child.
So whatever, However, for me, there had come a point in my life where I had gotten too small, and
Mm,
instead of somebody really kind of talking to me in a
checking
loving
on you.
manner to
Yeah.
kind of say like,
Are you okay? Yeah.
right, because now thinking back, going back to when I did end up gaining a lot of weight,
Uh-huh.
that's how I was able to think to myself, like, dang, I didn't realize where my mental state was at
Yeah.
that point that I was as small as I was. And
Mhm.
that's what I mean. Like, like sometimes, like tell people, my family, whatever, like, how like you gain weight, you lost weight, that's not a proper greeting.
Yeah.
You say hi to a person,
Yeah.
and if you want to, like, and usually you probably shouldn't comment on people's weight. You probably should just tell them if they look good and if they
Be
don't, keep it to
quiet.
yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Because like that's for me, like that's like why are you checking my body size? You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
Yeah.
However, but if you are concerned, because there's like you say, gaining weight or losing weight can be a sign of something.
Else.
You know
Yeah.
what I mean? It
Yeah.
could be
Yeah.
mental, it could be health, it could be
Mhm.
anything. And
Mhm.
somebody could be already knowing that, dealing with it internally. That's why I say, like, that's not proper. That's
Mhm.
not proper etiquette to
Uh-huh.
be,
Uh-huh.
either. But if I see somebody, I'm gonna be like, "Oh, you look good." Now the person might turn around and be like, "Oh, I need to lose such and such, such and such."
Yeah.
Well, whatever you need to lose, you look good in that. You know.
Yeah.
Like, or whatever you need to gain, you look good to me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah.
It's either you look nice or you don't. But
Yeah.
I think we do have a habit about that. And Dr. Jackie is the biggest offender on
Yeah.
that show
She
about it.
offend every way. Every time she open her mouth, she be quiet. Soon as she talk, she say something controversial. She talk about the
And
mother-in-law
you look like
shit.
you can slide between two bricks. And
Not two bricks. Not two bricks.
You
Lord
are
have
the last person to be telling
yeah.
anybody what their weight look like
Yeah.
outside of your own patients
Yeah.
who
Yeah.
are there for that. You know what I'm saying? Like, but your friend group, We didn't ask you.
Yeah.
We did not ask you.
Mess around with
Rail
Dr.
thin.
Jackie. Yeah, mess around with Dr. Jackie, you gonna be hungry, child. Don't
I
mess
wonder
around.
how tall is she?
I don't know. She don't look that tall though.
That's why. Well, it's hard to tell when they're on TV because I
Yeah,
can't
yeah,
tell
yeah.
how tall. I might be taller than all of them.
Mhm.
Because I was just gonna, I'm 5'7", but I was gonna say to myself, I might have been Dr. Jackie's size when as what I'm saying that I was too small. You know
Uh-huh.
what I mean? But I
Uh-huh.
hadn't even realized that on my own self because I had always been small, so it was not something that I even recognized.
I think that Dr. Contessa had mentioned that she had some body dysmorphia. I don't remember what season, but I on one of Dr. Heavenly's live, she said that Dr. Contessa admitted that she has some, image
Hmm.
issues. But back
And
to
that's easy to have.
it, especially in this day and age, and this
Hmm.
society, social
Hmm.
media, and you on TV, all them comments. Listen, being a content creator, seeing how people just be going, I can't imagine them talking about me. They be
Well, Dr.
eating into these
Carlos King
people.
said it for sure, and Dustin, like they said, you just remember the comments not for you. Like that's for
Yeah.
the other people to be, and they
Uh-huh.
they talking to each other. Like
Yeah.
he
Yeah.
like that. If you just remember,
Yeah.
they not talking to you. Like,
Yeah.
and
It's
I
just like
agree.
it's just like some of them gotta be bots. Some of them gotta be,
Oh,
just
for sure.
but it's just like why and who ordered the bot? And it's just like
Yeah,
they be
they
going
be cruel.
hard, they be misspelling stuff, and it's just be like, oh my god, why are you so
People are mean. People
yeah,
are
people are,
cruel.
it's like dang.
and
You
and,
act
and
like
I,
they be acting like
that's why it's so important for the reality stars to have a good sense of who they are,
sense of
you
self.
know.
That's what I was gonna say.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Because you really, I think you would get lost in, and so that's where I'm finding Dr. Heavenly at, though. That's like I say, like where
Okay.
she's becoming this Instagram baddie.
Uh-huh.
Like I'm not sure who's styling you. You know what I mean? Like,
Huh.
and where you're getting these styles from. Because
Uh-huh.
even as they're not exactly age appropriate.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah,
You
yeah.
know,
That
I'm all for like I'm a small, I'm a
crazy.
pretty my body is good, right? It always have been. And so I'm a person who can
Where
wear about what I want to. You know, not
uh-huh.
everything look good on everybody.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
But that's what I mean. Like, but even just being age appropriate, you got a daughter that's in college. Like, would I want to be possibly in the same outfit as my daughter who
Yeah.
is a freshman in college?
Yeah.
I don't. Like
Yeah.
even my kids, I have boys, but I remember when I started wearing one piece
Bathing suit.
swimsuits. Yeah, like cuz as they got to a certain age, so my oldest was like in 8th grade. He was tall.
Mhm.
I think he was probably like 6 feet in 8th grade. So
Mhm.
anyway, we go to the pool, and one of his friends asked, "Was I his sister?" Right. I mean, and not to say, of course, that's flattering.
Yeah,
Like,
of course.
oh, cute. But at the same time, it's kind of like, well, I'm okay with looking young, but
But
maybe I don't need to dress as young. You know
yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so there's kind of like, so I started wearing what I call mom bathing suits.
Mhm.
Still cute, but covered. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Full coverage,
Yeah.
not too much cleavage,
Yeah.
not too much booty out. And especially just kind of considering that when I'm out at the pool or at a beach or whatever, that I am with my boys. And
Her.
I don't want to embarrass them. Because
Yeah.
no, I don't want you over in the side and your friend is talking to you, but looking at me. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
I don't want you in that type of position.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
But
so
I think Dr. Heavily doing all this for the show. I think cause Dr. Heavily, she really is about her practice
you're
and
right about that.
her family. She trying to get a little sprinkle into the show. She is like one of the secret producers. She be trying to
Yeah,
orchestrate
I
stuff
can. You're
behind.
right. You're right. She do be on trying to make sure she is
Uh-huh.
giving the people what they
What they
need.
want, yes.
Yeah,
Her.
yeah. I
Yeah.
can agree with that. So maybe it's not as much as that. Maybe I have to pay attention to what she dresses like when she out.
Yeah, she be jeans, girl.
Yeah.
Jeans and a dang on
Cause,
shirt.
cause I think like so I mean Phaedra. So like Phaedra is kind of there too. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
always face full of makeup, child.
Hmm. And
Ballroom.
it's like, like you look good though. Don't get
Yeah.
me wrong. It's just a lot. You know, just seem like a lot. Let's
Mhm.
go. Look, what else we got to talk about? Quad and her new man, honey.
They saying it's a fake relationship, but child, that I don't think it's a fake relationship. I thought he was gonna be fine. I thought he was gonna look better. I thought Qua was gonna get her somebody look a little bit better, but I think he growing on me a little bit. Like he ain't that.
I like him. I
He
think
just
he's
too
cool. And
too
listen, he
red.
seems like my type of guy because
Oh, so
I don't like a man. I don't want no man that's too pretty.
he looked too pretty to me. That's what my
No,
problem.
he look nice. He
He
look
looked
handsome,
too
and he look
boring.
like a man's man. Like he don't look like he taking too much time in the mirror.
Uh huh.
Like he look like he take care of himself.
Uh huh.
But you know what I mean? Like you go to the barber shop, you get your
Mhm.
stuff up,
Mhm.
and you good. You know what I mean? Like you can put on a good suit. You know what I'm saying? And you good.
Yeah.
But like I don't. He doesn't give me the guy that is doing the most about
But
his appearance.
okay.
You
Okay.
know, like I don't like prissy men.
Yeah.
I,
Yeah.
yeah, and when I'm talking about prissy, I mean you spend more time picking
And then,
out your clothes than I do. You
yeah.
know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
You and not that I don't want you to
Care about
match
your
my
look.
fly,
Yeah.
but yeah, if you're doing way more than I do,
Yeah.
you're doing too much, and we can't
Mhm.
be together.
So
Like,
you like King? You like King? He's
I do.
attractive.
I think he's
I
handsome.
like.
I mean, we haven't really seen or heard from him a lot, so it's
Mhm.
not a lot for me to judge. But
Uh huh.
just off of looking at him, he threw at a party. At least that's what they said.
Mhm.
So, so I'm like, and if she is willing to bring him on the show, I'm guessing he's added up for her too. You
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
I don't think that is fake though.
I don't
I
think it's
think that I don't see Quad going there. I
Child,
think people
Quad
are.
go there. Quad
I
is
don't
all
think she
about
would
the
go. I
antics.
don't think. I
I
think
love
I
Quad
find
though.
it funny that anybody would think that any of those girls in that
Phaedra
case. Who? What fake person? Oh, well.
is
So let's
coming.
go. Let's talk about Phaedra for a minute, because I was about to say, but let's just go here about it.
Uh huh.
We never saw this man. So
Yeah.
it appeared that possibly this person actually didn't exist. Or, yeah, I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, or there was somebody you was talking to, and like Phaedra does, you
Mhm.
just kind of finagle it around. You know what I mean? Like I don't think she could not have been in a serious relationship for
Yeah.
you to get all the way to the point where you ready to get on this show, back on this show, and he is the loophole in, and then
Yeah.
he decides that he not that y'all broke up and he not coming on. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a little strange, you
Yeah.
know.
It
And
is.
it could, and to me, going back to even when they would say that about Kenya with the Walter and stuff, like I just be realistic about stuff. Not
Yeah. Me
saying
too.
that people don't do extra
Yeah.
things to be on TV, but
Yeah.
like hell, I could go and sleep with any guy. I mean, it's not that hard to go and
Yeah.
find somebody.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like if you
Yeah.
wanted to just have somebody on, like
Correct. Yeah.
it's not that hard. Now,
I
whether
agree.
you making arrangements with them or not, that could be different.
Yeah. They
So
them people
like even
play.
going back to Kenya with that guy Walter, like you like we saw this though. Like that's just, like we saw this.
Mhm.
You clearly knew that your relationship wasn't as serious as you wanted it to be.
Mhm.
And so that's why you worked your way into trying to make it more serious on camera,
On
which
camera.
end up making you look crazy.
Crazy.
Going back to TJ, that's why I'm like on
Yeah.
Stacy and TJ's end, he seems to be being pretty upfront with her, which
Mhm.
was the difference between Walter.
Yeah.
Walter was kind of doing the little thing men do, like, well, like they in Anguilla. Well, you never know. We only got 3 days. Now, why the hell would you tell somebody that, I mean, that is expecting you to try to
Exactly.
marry them?
Yeah.
That's not what you do. That was being dishonest. And
Yes.
no wonder she went off her Richter scale, like, because you don't do that to nobody,
Correct.
So, but going back to just her example with Mark. So that's the thing. When she came back and she was married to Mark,
Yeah.
everybody kind of like, well, how did it happen? You know how it happened. She showed you the blueprint on the first season. She got that man on vacation and talked him into marrying.
Poor Kenya. But she got her baby.
It is for
Got
Kenya.
she got her baby. I know she happy with Miss Brooklyn.
Well, she gonna have to be. It sound like she gonna have to be,
That's all
cause
she
that stunt she pulled on that on them housewives, honey.
got. Oh
It's,
yeah. I
see,
can't
that
wait to
was
see how it play
nasty.
out.
Hmm.
Child, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. I gotta see it. I'm trying to hold out
You
judgment.
ain't gotta see that. You ain't gotta see that. All you need to know is the details,
Yeah.
because that's what I mean about it being nasty.
Yeah.
You mean to tell me that you would go and find disparaging photos of
Mhm.
somebody that you're
Mhm.
going to invite to your business opening? Now,
Mhm.
this ain't somebody else's opening, like how she went with them drums at Marlowe's thing.
Uh-huh.
This
Uh-huh.
is your own business
Mhm.
establishment,
Mhm.
and you thought that that was the place to do that? That's nasty.
Yeah.
That's nasty work.
Yeah.
Cause
Yeah.
that means you, like, that's what I'm saying. You couldn't get out your own way. That's
Yeah.
your business.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
your if I was gonna do it, it'll go down anywhere but in
But
my
not her.
place.
Yeah. Yeah. You got your insurance. You got to worry about your business license. Yeah. You're
Not
right.
even that. It's a bad look.
Look. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a bad
Yeah.
look. Like, and why would you do that at your grand opening? That
Mhm.
don't make no sense. That's what I mean. She nasty, and
Yeah.
it's a difference between, because I feel like, so going, like, I feel like she wanted to have that heavenly thing. Like, that's
Uh-huh.
how it started off. Like, good TV. Let me keep up with Nene. Let
Yeah.
me, you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
That, and
Yeah.
then it slowly just turned, like, with between
Uh-huh.
her and Portia, and then it got even more just nastier and
Out of
nastier,
control.
and
Yeah.
this person, we don't even know who this person is that tough. You don't. So how is it that this girl got under your skin so tough to where those are the lengths you went to?
But they say she pulled out a gun. Oh no, or was she threatening a gun? I don't know, son, child.
But
That's what I'm like.
but here, let's be clear. You in real life, if somebody did do that, your retaliation to that is to
Um,
go pull photos off the, you know what I'm saying,
yeah, 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 yeah,
compromising photos off
yeah,
the
yeah, yeah,
internet
yeah.
of somebody. That don't sound like somebody who is
Yeah, equal.
fearful that
Yeah,
they about to come do what they said. Because if
yeah.
you threaten me that way and I'm taking it serious, then
You
I'm
going
going
down
to the
police.
authorities.
Yeah,
I'm
correct.
not finna go search the internet to see what I got, because those photos not finna stop whatever the threat was,
Yeah.
right?
Uh-huh.
Like, I feel like
Yeah,
that just would entice a person
to do it. Yeah,
more.
correct.
But Kenya is like that. Kenya
Mhm.
uses her words. She rearranges things so
Mhm.
that it can fit the way you want her to feel, wants you to feel about it. That
Uh-huh.
people do it all the time. That's why I'm like, you know yourself, and you got to know what you stand for.
Yeah.
That's how I am, and why I can even like a person but can tell them, like, when they've done something wrong, you know what I mean? Because right is right and wrong is wrong, and I don't care, like, and I don't overlook because I like you, because that's another thing that housewives do all the
The
time.
fans of the shows.
Yeah, you can get away with certain
Uh-huh.
offenses because y'all cool and you like this person, like
Yeah.
a Kenya, or go to Heavenly with
Yeah.
Contessa and Heavenly.
Yeah.
Like, her YouTube channel has been a problem.
Yeah.
Um, and especially where it comes to what she got to say about her castmates, that's
Mhm.
been a problem. But
Mhm.
yeah, even going to Contessa, it wasn't a problem for you until you became her subject.
Yeah. And in my opinion, Heavenly could have went harder. It cause she could have been like, yeah, child. She didn't really. She was trying to. When I was on the live when it was asked about if he is a abusive.
Mm-hmm.
And they kept asking her that. She kept trying to skate around it. She kept trying not to answer it. And the way she even the way she answered it, I don't feel like she could have. Dr. Heavenly, she could have been like, She was trying to answer it and be honest and be a friend and, still tell the
That's
truth.
why she ain't supposed to
She
be on
yeah,
that
she should
YouTube
no,
channel,
she should
right?
have just yeah, she even said she wish she ain't say nothing at all. Cause
Hmm.
she said she knows stuff. She could have said stuff. The things that she said is
They
only
were
what
bad
was
enough
shown.
though.
Yeah, that was. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that was bad enough. Because here's the thing: actually, going through that season with Contessa, we didn't need Heavenly's commentary.
Mhm.
I think Heavenly kind of was co-signing what
Mhm.
everybody was watching and thinking. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I feel like for Contessa, what she really is mad at when it comes to Heavenly is like, because you were talking about it and co-signing with the
Made it
with the
bigger.
public,
Yeah.
right? You didn't even give me a chance to be able to clean this up because it was her. Like now,
Yeah.
now I'll agree with Heavenly, like, well, yeah, you the one put all of this stuff out here.
Correct.
Like you the one, put his stuff out about him, like not having the life coach, but then having a life coach. Well, and their relationship seemed a little weird to me
I don't
anyway.
like that. He
I
look
don't, I don't think I
suspect.
care for him very much either. I don't think so. But that's what I'm saying. Like whatever was happening, you gave all of that out though.
Yes.
But I kind of, like I said, I do agree that Dr. Heavenly, which is why she just shouldn't have her YouTube page. She does need to shut it down just in general, because
Mhm.
it's not about who you decide to pick up and talk about. It's
Mhm.
the fact that you are a castmate on that show also. And I
Mhm.
don't know how you expect to keep your relationships in any type of working manner when at any given moment you can get on there and have to talk about these people
Mhm.
in a way that they won't be happy about.
Funky Dineva, he's another content
Oh
creator.
yeah, yeah, I
Big
watch
on
him.
yeah, big on YouTube. He say like he already told Dr. Heavenly multiple times, if you want to be friends with these people, you can't be talking about them. But in my opinion, child, happy to keep the page up. You entertaining me 1,000%. I'm loving all
Have
that.
you gone over there to Patreon? Ain't that
Yeah,
what she doing? Because I
I'm
think she been
paid.
getting in trouble with Bravo. So I
She
think that she has to go do her most of her stuff on Patreon.
she on both. Like some weeks she'll do it on YouTube and then like
Okay.
another hour on Patreon. But I'm over there on Patreon. It's free. You just can't comment. You
Oh,
gotta
oh,
pay
okay.
to
I'm
comment.
okay with that.
Yeah, you
I
can
go
watch
over there
it.
because I hadn't even bothered, honey.
Yeah, child. I was
I
trying
am
to get
not
in.
paying y'all a dime to listen to what y'all have to
I
say.
love Dr. Heavily on YouTube, child. It's so entertaining. I guess because I'm from Miami too. Like I understand
Yeah, so
her more.
you understand her
I understand the
dialogue and
culture. Yeah,
stuff.
I understand her. It's not too much
Hmm.
to me. It's not too ghetto. Like I know people like that. I've seen people like that. Like I get it. Like I feel like I know she'd go harder than that. Like yeah,
Well,
but
of
me too.
course,
She
but
should.
that's the reason why she needs to know about watching that Yo Mama stuff. Now,
Yeah.
now I'ma dig up in her tail about that. Now, how doggone you gonna go on your YouTube and you gonna cuss out the security, talking about where was they at? They sat and eating, and it was like, no, girl, no. See, cause you from the parts where you done wrote a check your ass can't cash like that. That's what that is. Cause I'm raised in Chicago,
Uh-huh.
then Gary, and now I'm in Indy. So
Uh-huh.
even with those two places, we don't play.
Yeah.
Some people play, but this one right here, I don't play at all. Like
Exactly. Exactly.
I'm like Trick Daddy. I don't PL to the AY. Okay, don't play with me.
Not, not Trick Daddy.
Don't play with me. No, because it will go down. I
Yeah.
remember somebody had brought that up to me because it's so funny that my personality, like I'm silly. I
Uh-huh.
have a very dry humor. So I can
Uh-huh.
like I'm with Heavenly too. I like some of the stuff she say too.
Uh-huh.
Cause I like sarcastic,
Yeah.
stuff
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
I'm quick with it, all
Yeah.
of that too.
Yeah.
But I know not to cross. Like it's certain
Yeah.
stuff we don't cross the lines, and then your mama stuff. Yeah,
Yeah.
no, we don't play that.
Especially if
I
your
don't play
mama
no
dead.
name calling because I don't need no confusion. That's what I tell people. I don't need no confusion
Uh-huh.
about when you playing and when you not. Because I'm gonna tell you, I
That's
ain't
your
never
boundary.
playing when it comes to that.
Exactly.
If I call you a certain thing, you better know I mean it. I don't
Yeah.
even care if I do laugh behind it. You better
Yeah.
know that I mean what I
Yeah.
said. You know what I'm saying? And that's to me, that's what that is in a sense.
Mhm.
Like you can be saying something and it can be out of facetiousness or you know what
Yeah.
I mean, like that.
And it up.
But
Mhm.
but yeah, no. And so that's what I was saying. Like, yeah, Heavenly, you barking up the wrong tree. You keep calling out your mama to call it to the right one.
Yeah, but she then heavily got body slammed. Did you see that in the trailer? Contessa, like, I don't know, she went over and hugged her, and
Wait, body slam.
yes, she took it down to the floor.
Okay,
Dr.
wait. It
Heavily
is
talked
so
about.
funny because I felt like I heard somebody else kind of say that, and I'm
Uh-huh.
thinking, so like, see, me, my mental, when you say somebody body slam somebody, I'm going to like the WWE. Okay, like, like, pow,
No, she ain't pick her up and slam her, but I think she like ran over and like bear
and like
hugged
just
her
tackling her
and like
down.
took her down
Yeah,
with the momentum. But
yeah,
but Dr. Heavily said when she took her down, she made sure to place her arm. You know how like her arm was cratering her
yeah.
neck, so she ain't get a chance to hurt herself.
Right. Well,
So she
that's
said that's
good.
why she feel like Dr. Contessa still got love for her. She feel like, but she
She
said,
ain't whoop her like she really could have. Huh?
yeah,
She ain't
yeah,
black out on her like that.
yeah, yeah, yeah. But I
Well,
want to know how they got from this argument down to Florida, and then that love them embracing. Because in the first two episodes, they was hugging.
because contestants don't know who she is, and
That's
like that, like this. I'm telling you, and Contessa she has been waiting for the opportunity to be the toughest girl on the
mhm,
season on the show.
mhm,
Like even when she first came in, Dr. Scott told Simone, "Oh, she was in the army.
mhm,
Who
mhm.
cares? You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, like somehow her being in the army was supposed to make her stronger than you, make
Yeah,
you scared of her.
yeah.
No, I pick this motherfucking bed up and bust her head just the same.
You got to go for what you know.
I'm just well, see, that's how we are in Chicago, honey. Like we go bust wide open. What Bernie Mac say to the white meat?
Yes,
Okay, like
yes,
to the white meat.
yes.
But so just the same. So being in the army is not a difference. But
Mhm.
but that's what I'm going back to. What the insinuation is supposed to be. The insinuation is she's stronger than y'all. She can
Yeah.
fight. You know what I mean? Because even when you think about being in a service. You're not taught to fight anybody.
Yeah,
You
especially
know what I'm
civilians.
saying?
Yeah,
Right. You trained to fight a particular way. That
yeah,
don't mean you can street fight.
yeah. But I think that you remember when Contessa first came on, she wasn't her and Dr. Heavily wasn't cool. So I
No, they
think,
wasn't because she was calling her cone
yeah,
Tessa.
Como Tessa. So they had some friction there. Then they became friends, and now they done fell out again. I think she ain't never forgive her from the beginning. I don't think they was ever true friends. I think Contessa been saving it. Okay, yeah, I say this.
See, but
That
that
make
go
more
back
sense.
to her not knowing who she
Yeah,
is. That because like, yeah, how did you be friend in that way? And maybe there was things like how Contessa tried to blurt out that stuff about Heavenly and
yeah,
Damon. Oh, you
yeah,
the one thinking something. So like, but the funny thing, the weird part about what Contessa did is the fact that none of this has been shown or
mhm,
even talked about
yeah,
until you just try to spew it out your angry mouth.
yeah,
It doesn't hit the same.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Like
yeah. And you
nobody
mad at
finna
her for
pick
that?
that up and run with it.
And when she talked about it, you mad at her for that exact same thing, for talking too
Exactly.
much. But
Exactly. That's why, like, as soon as she talking about square up, square up, it was
child,
like you've
she
been
was,
waiting on that. That right?
yeah,
That like this is okay. How long you been holding on to that? I'm like you
exactly,
said.
yeah,
I can't stand when people do that when they get into it and you can tell it's something that's just been sitting in the middle of your
yeah,
your
yeah,
throat
girl.
chakra like like oh you can wait to get that out, huh? Like
Mhm.
there you go. Here, you got it. You cool. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Because it's like, girl, like good try. But here's what it was. It was a good try. The thing
Yeah.
is with Dr. Heavenly got it right in the sense of she doesn't want her marriage to be the focal point.
Yeah.
So she doesn't talk to them about
Exactly.
that. Is, I mean, that's real life. You know what I'm saying? Like you work in an office, whatever. Certain stuff you don't want anybody, talking about in the
Yeah.
common areas. You
Yeah.
don't bring it up to them. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Like so, not to say I don't think that I don't never say what if I think me and one a person has cheated or not,
Mhm.
because who knows? But
Yeah.
my thought is there is a difference in the way that things come to you.
Yeah.
If you, as far as a woman and her husband, if there's a woman who trusts her husband and her
Yeah.
husband is giving her something to trust,
Yeah.
what is wrong with that? He
Exactly.
shows up in a way. Same thing with Marceau and Tisha. They want to push him on cheating, and maybe he has. But my
Mhm.
thing is, there's nothing wrong with a woman trusting her husband. See, we've
Yeah.
been we've been conditioned in this world where everything is not as it seems, and people
Mhm.
do these things that we forgot that that's exactly what a marriage is. You,
Supposed
you
to
know,
be.
you
Yeah.
trusting each other,
Mhm.
and no matter if an outside person come and say whatever,
Y and Z.
right? Now on the flip side, let's go because that can still be applied to Contessa to say like she might say, well, like I was saying that, but everybody kind of still telling me that this that because your husband wasn't giving you that. Like
He
your
was.
husband not acting like Dr. Damon.
Yeah.
Your
He was.
husband don't act like Marceau. Marceau, I like Marceau on Love and Marriage, honestly, just because he's straight up direct.
Mhm.
He don't, like Martell, you the one got all of these like little shady and shifty ways. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? But Marceau,
Martell
good,
too
bad,
fresh
or
too.
indifferent. He just say what it is. You know what
Mhm.
I mean? Like some of the stuff he just said ain't been all the way about the right. But the fact
Huh.
that you just said it, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because what do
Mhm.
you do with that besides take it?
Yeah.
And so like going back to either one of them, like your husband actually was presenting these things that were very questionable.
Uh-huh.
And not just to the public, should have been questionable to you because they were specific to your own relationship. Him
Yeah.
telling you he got a life coach, but then turn around and don't. Why would any of
So
us
who
be
the
pissed
woman you
off
was
about
texting?
that?
Who you was texting then? And that wasn't your life coach. Who you was on the phone
Exactly.
with?
And why would any of us be the ones to make you question that? You know what I'm like? You should already have that question in your mind.
Mhm.
But what I think she don't understand, and I think the public in general don't know how to separate that. You know what I'm saying? Like I say, women, men, husbands and wives are supposed to trust each other.
Yeah.
Husband and wives are supposed to cleave to each other. They're
Correct.
supposed to be protective of each other. So when
Correct.
you see that happening, you're not seeing nothing wrong. We
Yeah.
just used to seeing so much of them.
Worthiness to that.
Exactly. Exactly. So yeah, so it's like as far until whatever Mariah tried to do it, and the public, the thing about the world we live in today,
Mhm.
if something like that was going on, it would already be out.
Correct.
That's the same
That's what
thing with
everybody.
with Mel and Martell. That's what I keep saying. Like they keep forgetting that it wasn't anybody on the show. Like Martell, you got such a angst in your little butt for
Mhm.
Tisha and Marceau and
Yeah.
everybody else when what happened to you and Mel was not their fault.
Yeah.
The public went and found that girl
Yeah.
and brought her out to the forefront.
Mhm.
Nobody would have ever known she existed. And the same way, because that's what
Nobody
I'm
would
saying.
have she why she had to exist in the first place. You was wrong,
Well,
wrong, wrong.
so here's this my point. That's true, but this my point with Marceau. Like, let's just because Martell is adamant about knowing that he's cheated on Tisha,
Uh-huh.
and to the point where he must have some truth to it. You know what I mean? Like Cause I don't know, but Martell is messy. But I'm just saying, like some people, kind of like Kenya. Like even though I might not like Kenya, and her personality per se, Kenya hasn't proven herself to be a liar. You know
Correct.
what I mean? Like so, a lot of things. Most times, even as wrong as it might be, if she say something, I kind of give her that little bit of validity behind it, just because yeah, you haven't proven yourself to just say stuff outside of name calling, like with Sheree. Like I couldn't believe they let that slide because that was a violation to me. You
Mhm.
just put that girl's business out and it wasn't yours to put out.
Yeah.
And she just let you have it. I don't like girl. I don't know what I would have did to that lady, but it wouldn't have went down like that for me. Like, how you gonna tell my business as if it's true? You
She
know what
trying
I'm
to work
saying? Like
hard for
as if
that
you
check.
was there. Hmm?
Working hard for that check.
I'm saying. So, back when so like it seems to be that he got to know it's something that he trying to get to. But the
Mhm.
problem is, whatever it is Marceau has been out here doing in them Huntsville streets, them people clearly know their place because they're not doing the most like your girl is. You know what I'm saying? Or was, or now is, even though now you divorced. And so the oddest thing, Ariana is a oh, she need help because it ain't nowhere in the world. Like me and this guy, you would never catch us together. How
Yeah.
is it that you making money off unless he cutting her some of that check? And that would be only be the way that I could see that smoothing over and it
Yeah.
not being an issue with her. But
Uh-huh.
there's no way I can single handedly be the seventh cast member on that show without receiving a check.
Yeah.
And then when it's time for me to do something, you come give me some raggedy interview with somebody y'all found at
That's
Family
why
Dollar.
that's why I hug my little baby so tight, child, cause you could tell when you ain't get that proper love, you just be going after any old thing, child.
What you say? You
Cause
can tell.
I gotta hug my babies tight, gotta get them all the love, so they don't
I'm
be going out
telling you, so
the
you
street
don't
trying
be out here looking for it in all the wrong
yes,
places.
yes, yes, yes,
Because
yes.
that's
But even in the
exactly
interview, you saw how she was like, "Oh, so what did like?" She was trying to check him a little bit, like, "Oh, so that's what we do. That's what men do. That's what men do." Like,
And
girl,
see,
you
and see,
wrong.
this is where you not as smart as you should be
Uh,
because you that that live would have served a better purpose if it
uh-huh.
just was her and Martell. And
Yeah,
if they was interviewing each other. Because
yeah,
what the people don't want to know if Marceau cheating. Like, I don't know why they think we so interested in that. We
mhm,
actually not. But we
yeah,
would like to know about y'all
yeah. What?
situation.
Yeah, what down with y'all? Yeah, that was the more interesting part. It seemed like the more honest part when they was kind of having their banter back and forth, opposed to that little weird
Girl, because
story.
do we believe her? Not one bit.
She seemed very coached. Like she seemed, and the only reason why he did the interview is because of what was said about what was said about Martell. It's like
Right.
so you
Right.
ain't care all before, but now somebody said something about you. Now you want to have a whole little sit down to the YouTube.
And then wait, but on the maybe it was the next day. So they was somewhere at a gala. He on his live and
Uh huh.
Ariana there. And here's the thing. This is another reason why that's not. It wasn't real. That girl just was making up stuff
Yeah.
because your plea to get any other person is kind of like it sounded like the advertisement for Maury. Like if you got a baby and you don't know who your baby daddy is, call in to,
I
such and
remember that. I remember that.
so that's what it was. It was like if you got a what you call it? If you got a Las Vegas story, or if you got a this and that, right? And it was like, so is that how y'all vetting these people? Like you're not really checking into details?
Yeah.
Like yeah. So and at this point, because of who you are, that here we go again.
People gonna wanna.
Anybody could. That's
Yeah.
what I'm saying. Anybody could come like that girl. And not to because what I can say, it has nothing to do. It's
And
not strictly based off her looks,
who gonna
because
admit to a train being ran on now by some brothers? Why would you say that? Even if it was true. And
excited also. Like she was like cheesing, like that was the first
yeah.
time I ever had a, and it was like, okay. All right. Sound like you telling us it's something we should try. Like,
And then it's a brother, this man brother, and you a
right.
grown, you know right from wrong. You a grown lady. Why?
Well, that's this the same person who said that it took Martell to
The
tell Barso.
You a grown lady. You know that man flew you out. He need to be paying for something. You down to the Ross paying for stuff.
You went
What?
all the way to Las Vegas to go shop
To
at
go to
Ross.
Ross. Oh Lord have mercy. Oh
You could have found their local store. Like, but I'll be doggone if I'm gonna go find a Ross in Las
Las
Vegas.
Vegas. Child. But listen, my phone is about to go dead. I'm on 5%.
Okay, I think we got through everything, but that was cool.
Yes.
I like that.
I had fun. You had
I
fun?
did too.
We
Yes,
need to do this
yes.
again. We definitely need to do this
Absolutely. I think every Monday, let's start. Let's
again.
see if we can start off there. And
Okay.
then we can do about 2 o'clock ish.
Okay, 2 o'clock.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Let's keep it like that for see how we can do. And the new year is coming up. So look, well, we get we be chatting on some other. So if we want to do some impromptu stuff, just get with me. We can.
I got your
But
number.
huh?
I got your number, girl.
Yes, ma'am. But yes, this was great. I'm so excited. We got through everything.
Uh-huh.
Yep, we did. See, we on time. We didn't get through predictions, but we can do that. We can always do that later.
Yeah.
So have a good Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, guys.
And y'all make sure y'all subscribe to both of us so that we can get our
And like this
subscriptions up.
video. Make sure
And
you
like
like
the video. Yes,
it.
like and share the video.
Yes.
But I got our pages in the description.
All right.
Yep. All right, honey.
Bye,
Bye
honey.
bye.
Bye.
See y'all later. That was fun.